couldn't pay me to vote for a Democrat. Local, state, federal elections, I don't care what it is. You couldn't pay me to vote for one. You know why? Because they know that we, and I mean people whose skin color look like mine, they know that we vote party over interest. So after we vote, what do? They don't need us for anything. That's what they do. Year after year after year. I'm from Baltimore, and I go home at least twice a year to see family. Same abandoned homes, same crime rate. We haven't had a Republican mayor since the 60s. And look at our environment. The same can be said for Memphis. The same can be said for St. Louis. The same can be said for Detroit. The same can be said for a lot of these cities all over this country that have been led down the toilet by Democrats for decades. Stop voting party over interest and vote interest over party.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today I have a great collection of videos to share with you guys. Black folks, white folks, Latino folks, I'm just gonna say Americans that have sense, that can see what is happening in this country, are standing up and standing 10 toes down on their square. And they are out here telling the world that they are going to support the felon. Now, you listen to Joy Reid, a Jamel Hill or Jen Psaki or any of the rest of these, Democrat shields, Charlamagne the God, Roland Martin, they'll all tell you, you can't possibly vote for a guy who has, all these felonies and he has all these other cases going on. You can't vote for him. You can't support him. The heck if we can't. Our founding fathers would be considered felons. We see what time it is. And just like the brother who started this video off said that you can't pay him to vote for a Democrat. You couldn't pay me to do it. You couldn't pay me to support those people. They do not mean us any good. Their policies are terrible. They just are. Before we get into the video, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
Your, endorsement of Donald Trump. I mean, you're all about women's rights issues. I mean, what was the reason for the big change?
Is Donald Trump not for women's rights issues?
I mean, I guess a lot of people were asking.
He's trying to make America great again. That's for women too, right?
That's true. I mean,
okay. Well, there you go.
I know. Does him getting convicted change the way you view him?
Not at all.
I mean, do you think it'll help his chances getting reelected or you'll hurt him?
I think it helps him more.
I think it helps him more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice and what happened, and they want to vote for him more than ever.
I know. I wanted to ask you. So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of changing their way of
I think we just did our research and we're just, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left. I can say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed and I'm not anymore.
If you take the time to just do a little digging, just take the time to do a little bit of digging, do a little bit of research for yourself, not what CNN gives you, not the information that MSDNC gives you, not the information that any mainstream media platform gives you. You do know that 90 to 95% of those platforms are all liberal leaning. You would understand and you would come to the realization that they don't care about the American people. They care about power. These people are Marxists. These people are communists. They want to get rid of religion. They want to get rid of the nuclear family. They want, boys to be girls, girls to be boys. They want to stifle the growth of the population. They want to tax everybody into oblivion. The Democrats, they are the party of slavery. They'd like to get us back full-fledged to that. That's where they'd like this. Most people are working and don't even realize that you're paying, heck, 55, 60%, of your earnings in taxes. You're getting crushed in income tax. There's a sales tax, property tax. They tax you when you die. And if Joe Biden gets another 4 years, he out of his own mouth has said those Trump tax cuts that just, finished up, not only are those going away, we're actually raising taxes. That's what he said out of his own mouth. They're not coming back. Let's get to the next video.
The sad part about politics. The Democratic Party automatically feels that the black community just vote for them without no questions asked. Just vote blue no matter who, even if the policies ain't good for you. That's their slogan. Vote blue no matter who. Well, I'm here to say, as a registered independent that has never voted, I have a mind of my own. So I will not be part of the plantation. I will not be vote ashamed. So I'm not going to fall for the propaganda and the lies. So you could do all the complaining and all the yelling. I'm a black man that is still black, and I'm voting for the felon. Trump 2024. Let's go.
Shout out to my brother Mark Cruz right here, man. Hey, he always hollers at me, always shoots me messages, sends me content, man. I appreciate you, brother. And the way that he feels, there's a lot of brothers out there that feel the exact same way. There's a lot of sisters out there that feel the exact same way. Shout out to Miss Tiffany. Shout out to Miss Angie. There's too many of you guys that I see in the comment sections and in the chat when I go live that I gotta believe that y'all aren't the only ones. They're saying that Trump right now could get somewhere around about 20% of the black vote. I personally think that number's probably going to get upwards in the 30, 35%. We haven't seen numbers like that since Ike was in office. That's how long it's been. But people are starting to wake up. What has voting blue, no matter who, achieved in the black communities? What has it achieved? What have they done other than keep things the same or in some cases make things worse? Look at Compton, Maxine's Water District. Look at Memphis, been liberal led for so long. Look at Baltimore, been liberal led for so long. These people don't want school choice. They don't want you to have the ability to achieve any upward mobility. They want to keep you down. They want to indoctrinate your children. It's about power with these Democrats, and I'm glad to see brothers like Mark Cruz and other brothers out there starting to wake up and get off the Democrat plantation. Folks aren't falling for it no more. They better come with some tangibles. And if they're not coming with tangibles, kick rocks. And that's what a lot of people are starting to say. We're also in a situation where we can compare apples to apples. This Biden administration, this DEI administration is awful. It's going to go down in history as one of the worst, if not the worst administration in U.S. history. Our economy sucks right now. We had a situation when Trump was in office in the Trump administration and our economy was booming. And what I mean by booming, I'm not talking about the stock market, because even though it was doing well, I'm talking about the job market. I'm talking about the business market, the ability for people to start businesses, the ability for people to grow their business. Trump wants to implement school choice across the country. That would be huge for the black community. That would be huge for poor communities. We all want our children to get a quality education. And that $21,000 or so that's attached to each kid in the United States, some cities, some states, that number may be a little less. But in Baltimore City, that number is around $21,000. You should be able to use that money and send your kid to whatever school you deem best for your child. Wake up, people.
Surprised that the weaponization of our judicial system would take place with Biden, who is known for wanting to lock up drug addicts, while his own son is in active addiction, but it's all good in his hood. And Kamala, who locked up plenty of black men for sport. So we're worried about who's going to be the first woman president. And, you know, I think I'm more excited about who's going to be the first felon president, because I know who I'm voting for in 2024. Who are you voting for?
Look at that. Another sister out here standing up. That's the thing. We have to show ourselves as free thinkers. I'm one of those kind of people, even if you want to support Biden, know what you're supporting and why you're supporting him. And it can't be, oh, Trump's racist. That I don't want to hear. But if you know the policies and you support the policies that those folks want to implement, by all means, you have the right to support who you want to support. My issue is that people vote for a party, vote for an individual because, oh, we've always voted for him. Oh, we vote Democrat just because that's just what we do. Oh, my mom and my grandparents voted for him, so I'm going to do the same thing. But if you ask a policy that they like, if you ask, hey, what was an accomplishment that was achieved that you really appreciated, most people can't tell you. They know nothing. We need to become a lot more politically astute. I think that is starting to happen in the Black and the Latino communities, even in the poor communities across the country. You're starting to see people, just American citizens, become politically astute, have a full understanding of what's going on. We still got some work to do. We still got a whole lot of work to do, to be honest with you. You've seen the video of those brothers and sisters out there in Compton, California. There's still some work that needs to be done. But even those people aren't far away from an awakening. And even they can be taught and they can learn. It's true. Let's keep rocking.
Always get arrested for this that we never do. There's no evidence on it. We spend years in jail, sometimes weeks, whatever the case may be. But we always get indicted for something short. That just made them more relatable to anybody in the hood.
Thank God we're a constitutional republic. The majority doesn't rule in the United States. In voting, it does. But at the end of the day, the Constitution supersedes illegal acts.
On a spiritual note, Jesus was also found guilty, and everybody still loves Jesus, feel me? You know what I mean? So, like, if Trump is found guilty, doesn't mean that we still love him. We already know that's that radical left cheat code stuff.
Even if they put him in the jail cell, we still going for it.
Allen Harvest and all the type of this. Like, this is just gonna be the cherry on top that sets off either the Civil War, World War III, if he actually get arrested. It'll be the cherry on the top.
My mind was not made up before, but it is definitely made up now. And I will definitely be voting for Donald Trump because the weaponization of the legal system, it is so blatant, and this corruption cannot stand. Whether I like Donald Trump or not, which I don't, I feel that it is essential that I vote for him because I must stand against the lawfare that was put on display by the Democratic Party, Alvin Bragg, all of these folks. And it's a shame because I'm a New Yorker. I live here in New York. And as a black man who lives in the United States and in New York, I know what it's like to have the legal system used against you, specifically targeting you. So, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, to expect us to just sit back and watch this happen and just ride with it like it's okay, like we're stupid and we don't see what's going on, that's crazy. Because if you can do something like this to a former president of the United States, just imagine, people, imagine what they can do to us. I'm sorry, but I'm all in. Trump 2024.
Shout out to that brother right there, man. He's right. What people don't understand, too, is that these cases set precedents. If these cases don't get overturned, that case will set precedents. That means that when you go to court, the judge can say, you know what? There's 5 cases. There's 5 charges. Y'all all don't have to agree on all the charges. You just need to agree on 3 or 4 of them. If 3 or 4 you guys agree on this one, and 3 or 4 you guys agree on this one, and 3 or 4 you guys agree on this one, boom, that's all good. We can take that right there, gives us our 12, 100% guilties on each charge. That is ridiculous. That's something that, honestly, I've never seen before. And that's not how things are supposed to work. There's supposed to be a 100% agreement on every charge to get in a conviction. And if not, it's a hung jury. Again, people don't understand that elections have consequences, but so does cases. Because these types of cases, this case could be utilized and weaponized against someone else in the very near future. I got one more video to share with you guys.
It doesn't matter how or what you feel about Donald Trump, but if you're a true student of the Constitution, if you're a student of law, even if you have a moral standard of justice, all of America ought to be afraid right now. for that man to be convicted without the right to adequately defend himself from charges that weren't even stated. We've lost our republic. Our Constitution is dead. And everyone else in America, we ought to be afraid for ourselves. It's not a good thing. And for those that think it is, that's the enemy.
She's absolutely right. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying that we've lost our Constitution, we've lost our republic, because there's still an appeals, court to get to these and we know that this case is going to get tossed out, via appeal, or what we heard with the letter that was sent out from Judge Mershon, that this case might go up as a mistrial just due to the fact of, some juror out there who was running their mouth to a family member on Facebook. We'll see what happens with that in the near future. We'll keep our eyes and ears, tuned to what's going on with that particular situation. But just the conviction, the case itself, she's absolutely right. Like I said previously, these types of cases, they set precedents. Now, what we do know is that there is a fraction of the Democrat Party. There's a fraction of the liberals out there, maybe more than we even know, that would like to get rid of the Constitution and just start over and create another document. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it, but there's a guy that I think his name is Elie Mystal. He goes on MSDNC with Joy Reid fairly regularly. It's out there. It's out there on the net. This dude has said it, that the Constitution's trash and he'd like to get rid of it if it was up to him. Joy Reid sat there smiling, sinning and grinning. Check this out.
So are you arguing for throwing out the Constitution? Should the Constitution be thrown out? What do we do? Is it a living document? Or is it a sacred document?
It's certainly not sacred. Our Constitution is kind of trash. Now, let's just talk as adults for a second.
What did you say? It's what?
It's kind of trash.
Trash.
It was written by slavers and colonists and white people who were willing to make deals with slavers and colonists. They didn't ask anybody to look like me what they thought.
You have radicals. You have radicals out there like this guy. He was on The View. They asked him to repeat himself. They didn't push back. They didn't shut the show down. They didn't go straight to commercial like they did when Dr. Phil was on there. They didn't do that. They allowed this man on national TV to say what he said. And that's what I'm talking about, people. These people are ridiculous, but I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Please consider joining the ARP family. I have a membership. You can join the club, join the team, join the family, whatever you want to call it. It supports me. It supports the channel. It supports the people who work on the channel and allow us to continue to produce and present solid content to you guys on a day-to-day basis. I appreciate the love. I really do. For those of you guys that have already joined, that already support us over here, God bless you guys. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.